to won this horse. He ran well in a Wyon Cup, in a very strong form Newcastle Cup, and then he's gone round in a few other races there. And his past couple of runs at Newcastle and the Beaufort, and then he had the tick-over run for this last start, and he'll outstay most of these horses.
So United's third up from a spell. Waterhouse and Bott with Tim Clark.
Well, I thought it was a run short, and when he beat his when he won the other day, so there's only upside. And the thing with him is he can put himself in front, and we know that'll be whether it's an advantage at this distance, I'm not sure. But if they leave him alone, he could well be off and gone.
Maxie, Chris Waller's won this race more times than we can count. He's got head of state here with Mark Duplessis.
His two runs back were very good, and they're not so good at his next two. I noticed concussion plates are off, so maybe he's had a few hoof issues. At his best, he could figure somewhere.
What about number 8, Unanimous? Dylan Gibbons rides for Kiramar David Eustace.
Yeah, this fellow has been racing quite well on a Saturday in Sydney around about benchmark 78 level. That's good enough.
80 grands from the Tony Gollins stable with Harry Coffey.
Solid late to win at Eagle Farm. And their last start, which was in the wave last Saturday, he did a good job finding the line strongly, so they're backing him up, and the distance should be okay, but he's going to give them a decent start.
I love to back John Sargent's horses in staying races, Ronnie. Outlandos is a 10 with Michael D.
He ran a big race in this race last year, running third, so he's a real stayer. He'll love a speed up front here, and he'll beat more than half the field home, that's for sure, and he's got a little knockout chance at any old price.
Military Gambler won't know himself with 52.5, Maxie. Damien Thornton for Chris Munt.
Used to be a back marker, but when they've pushed him forward like they did in the Toowoomba Cup, he won, and even last start he went forward and was better at Doomben in the shootout, so a lightweight going forward, he's going to give a sight.
Knowing a deal is the 12, one of your faves, Maxie, Gary Dougherty, Craig Williams.
I think she can run a race here. Looked a little bit plain last Saturday in the wave, beaten 3.4, but she was just one paced up the running. And I think backing up 22 is spot on today.
The Vows is 13, Tobin Trent Edmonds, CJ Graham.
Comes out of the wave as well. Did use him up a little bit. I think they were riding to maybe the pattern that day, go forward, and he was nowhere to be seen really at the end. He just whacked away. So we're making a lot of excuses for him, aren't we?
We are. Is Beaufort Parker a 2,200-metre horse? Chris Muntz, Tyler Schiller?
Not for me. He's been a wonderful horse, an 8-year-old, going well, but I think a stretch.
Kurt Goldman went wild last week when Arts Object won with Angela Jones.
She had the beautiful run, didn't she? 4th, 5th offence, trucked up, too good. They're backing her up, but you just got to trust that she's by Zoostar, whether she can run the extra, 400 metres.
Ronnie, I know you like deficit a little bit here. Ben Thompson rides for Gerald Ryan, Sterling Alexio.
Only has to run the distance. His last win was this time last year, might have been the wave, and just does no work from the inside door. Good grounding, worth a crack, and I think he's good odds.
Paul Perry has a lightweight chance here. Olympic Gaze, Maxie, with Sammy Collett.
Yeah, right. I prefer
others.
I prefer the stablemate. Yeah.
Okay. What about 18? Readily available. Robbie Dolan rides for Jack Bruce.
Yeah, no way. Gets it cheap. And he was good last start. That was in that first race last Saturday on Wave Day. So it'd be a hope.
Got a bit of a shoot on this track, Maxie. If you're at the end of the shoot, it's a 2,400 metre start. However, obviously this will start perhaps in the mouth of the shoot. So a reasonable run down the straight into this first turn.
Yeah, big field. How many of them are we going to have here? 18 of them thundering down the straight. So it's going to be a
Calgary Stampede.
Great spectacle going to that first turn. They'll be rushing to get position. So we'll learn a little bit probably when they get to about the mile when they've settled.
And Ronnie, I think there's probably a bunch here that will struggle at 2,200.
There possibly could be, and that's why, a couple of these old tough nuts might come might run your races like your Warnings and Outlandosses and whatever. So it's one of them races. Maybe you can look for a bit of value and
like you said this morning, you've got to pick who you don't want to be behind.
That's right, because you can find it. You think you're in a good spot with cover, and the horse in front of you is going nowhere all of a sudden.
All right, let's see what Kian likes.
I let the 12 in, Noah and Adil. I think when you look at her form on paper, there's some spaced runs, so perhaps they were behind the 8 ball with her. I saw her 7 days ago, and she still wasn't fully wound up. She looks a lot better. It's very promising to see how quickly she's come on in only a 7-day turnaround. She's going to appreciate the extra trip, and they may not have her 100% yet, but she's very, very close.
All right, Kiana, I think she's got a great chance. At one point I had her on top. I just, the coat tuggers, that's what they call them,
Yes.
isn't it, Ronnie? They got me with Zennzella, who's been a little bit easy late, but I'll go with Zennzella. Nevertheless, I just think she's likely race stayer and coming through some good stakes form in Melbourne this time in and perhaps ready to peak today. But definitely Kian's pick from the yard, Knowing a Deal. She's only got 52.5, and she ran a great race behind Amakura in the Oaks, and then came out to win at Eagle Farm, beating some decent horses, Thalassophile and a few. So I think she's got a great chance, number 12. You could play her each way. She has been spec too, 15 down to $10. Others, So United, the possible leader, and Skylab if he performs like he did 12 months ago.
Yeah, I'm 16, 1, 6 and 5. I'm going to have a throw at the stumps with deficit here. Just hopefully just falling asleep from barrier 1 and just having a bit of a ping in his step here and just got to hold your breath the last 100 metres if he can run this distance out. I think Skylab goes in, good tough nut he is. So United, making his own luck up front. And Parry Sound, 25 to 1. I just can't let him go round without me here at that price. And the other one that I had more than one look at here is number 18, Ready Available. But 16, 1, 6 and 5.
At least no worries with the trip with readily available, that's for sure. All right, let's go behind the barriers. Ellie should perhaps, Ali is there now. So, Ali, these are all pretty cruisy, these stayers. They know what they're doing, and most of them should be rather relaxed.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Bern. Although they haven't quite got to me yet, I sort of cantered out behind them. And while Max would have liked to have been let off to catch them, I decided not to. So I'm just waiting for a few of them to come down and get into closer shot for me. But it's good because I do know a few more of these horses, obviously a lot of them from Sydney. Skylab was one who I saw out the back, and he's obviously travelled up in really nice order. Warning's been an old favourite of mine for a long time. He's always relaxed, does everything right, a very professional horse. So I'm keen to see him. I'm only just getting a few of them into view now. So Arts Object actually was next to Race Day stalls, and she's a bit of a spunk. She's got a lot of sass about her. I had to watch my back a few times, but she presents in really nice order and obviously has taken nothing out of her that last week's win. So she's come through it in great order. And the other one I just wanted to make mention of is Outlandos, because I'm a bit of a fan of this horse, so I'm keen to see how he's come over, because he's one that you've really got to see what he's like behind the barriers. So now that I'm just getting a few of them into shot, most of those things that I've said seem to be pretty on par. Warning's getting maybe a touch hot, as is So United, but that's something that So United can do. So we'll certainly forgive So United for that. Skylab's come across well. Olympic Gaze has come across well. Zennzella looks $1 million, so that's a good tick for the favourite backers. And Arts Object, as I said, has settled really nicely.
All right, thank you very much for that, Ali. Paul Joyce is busy trying to spend all his money from last week still. I'm not sure if his wife Christine has had a helping hand. You're backing up a week later in a 2,200 metre race. Can she run the trip?
We're about to find out, Bernie, but no reason she wouldn't on what she did last week. I'm a lot more confident than I was 7 days ago, so let's see what happens.
Where do you ideally want to be in the run?
Ange told me she'd be fourth one out.
Good to see you listening to a woman.
I always listen to the women around me, Bernie. You know that.
Good way. He's a smart man, Ronnie.
He's a smart.
Do you listen to the women?
I'm surprised he's not at home doing the form for the Sunshine Cup.
Well, this is right. I think he's just going to get up at 6:30 and do a quick, swift run through.
Well, I won't be following the tips. He's not at home doing the form.
In fact, if he wins this race, I suspect he's not even going to do the form.
If it looms up here, we won't even hear the race.
All right, let's get to Tim Ryan for a market update.
Zennzella, very, very popular with tab.com.au customers. $3.80 it was this morning. Did get to a high of $4.80, but that's been taken now into $4.20, and by far our worst result in the race. So United also well backed in the race, $6 into $5.50 today after $8 was bet early in the week. Skylab just getting a little bit easy, $5 out to $6.50. We've got a couple of roughies that have been really well spec'd. Noah and the Deal, 16 into 10 today after 34 was bet earlier in the week. Specking for Ronnie's tip, deficit 16 into $15. And Arts Object, we just heard from Paul Joyce, it's been 26 into 17 today.
It's one of those races where everybody wants to have a nibble.
Yeah. We've got to have a bet. It's Magic Millions Day, so you throw a dart at them and you have a go.
So who's leading? So United?
I think so. I think they'll be aggressive with unanimous, but I think it's that no one's going to take on Gay here. They just get one instruction. You lead.
That's it. And Maxie, final words?
Yeah, it's going to be a fabulous spectacle. Such a big field thundering past us here. We had some great shots from the sky a few moments ago where the barriers are precisely just inside the turn into the straight. And
Great
look at
chopper
that
shots
crowd.
too.
Yeah. Yeah, beautiful day here on Australia's holiday destination, best holiday destination here on the Gold Coast. So hopefully everyone's having a wonderful time, and hope their stab in the dark here gets the money. That's the kind of race it is.
It certainly is. Here's Mitch Manners for the Sub-Zero.
80 grand and Military Gambler, 3 out. Starting at about the 300-metre mark in front of this massive crowd here in attendance for the Star Magic Millions race day. Now, So United's right, red light on. 80 grand goes forward. Full field, full gate. Stand by. The Sub-Zero. They look to stand well. As I say, that Arts Object a little restless. Back down now and attended in. Ready. Gates open. They're off and racing now. Pretty level dispatch away. Olympic Gaze was slow out though. Deficit off the inside. Bounced out well. Head of State, Military Gambler, So United, and the Vows going forward on the outside. So through the first 200 metres at the post the first time. So United just from Military Gambler. The Vows in third, Unanimous fourth, and Deficit fifth. Then followed by Head of State and Parry Sound. Skylab around midfield, the rail early on. On its outsiders, Knowing a Deal, then Arts Object, Beaufort Park. Readily available, Zennzella settles down with around 6 behind it, including Love Tap, Olympic Gaze, Warning, Outlandos, 80 grand is last. Into the back straight, they're about to head. 1,400 metres left to run. So United allowed to bowl now in front. 2 lengths clear. The Vows in second. Military Gambler in third. Unanimous fourth. A length and a half to Deficit 5. The inside of Head of State and then Parry Sound. 3 deep with no cover. Then followed by Knowing a Deal and Skylab tucked away on the rail. Next is Arts Object, Beaufort Park, and readily available on the rail. Zennzella, Love Tap, Olympic Gaze, Warning third to last. 2 lengths away, Outlandos. 80 grand sees them all. 10 to 12 off the leader. 900 metres left to run. They run off the back. So United allowed to dictate in front. 1 length clear. In second spot on the outside is the Vows. Third, Military Gambler. Unanimous in 4. And then followed Deficit. Head of State. No moves from the back. Parry Sound. Now Arts Object starting to slide forward. 4 deep now. Then followed Skylab. Held up on the rails. Then Zella gets going. Knowing a Deal. Beaufort Park. Love Tap readily available. Warning. 80 grand. Then followed Olympic Gaze and Outlandos. Now the runs come. 450 to go. So United narrowly from the Vows. 3 out Unanimous. Zennzella, Arts Object circling wider. Deficit about to get a split. Then followed Knowing a Deal. Head of State. Parry Sound. Love Tap out wider. So United in front. 250 to go. Deficit's out. The Vows. Zennzella out wider and Parry Sound. 100 to go. So United the far side. Zennzella. Parry Sound. It's So United. Parry Sound. This will be close. So United just, I think So United the insider nose to Parry Sound in a photo finish. Zennzella's run third. Photo fourth. Deficit's up there. Unanimous. Then Skylab. Next Love Tap. Military Gambler. Further back Arts Object. 80 grand. Warning. Readily available. Olympic Gaze. Head of State. Outlandos. The Vows. Knowing a Deal. And Beaufort Park. Photo finish. So United maybe a nose to Parry Sound in a photo. Zennzella will be third. Stand by for the result. 6 is the winner. 6.
United had run along at a really nice tempo, Ronnie, but they were all on their bike very early.
Yeah, it's a good effort. It's just a marvellous asset to have in racing when you've got speed and you can dictate terms to suit yourself. And
stamina.
And stamina as well. And this stable, like I keep saying, are absolutely flying. I think the second horse clearly should have won. He was 4 and 5 deep, no cover the whole race, and he was so tough. And Zennzella might be her turn next year in this race. She's only young. She's got youth on her side, it's pretty close for fourth there. Maybe either Deficit or the big grey Love Tap.
And there is another dashing front running ride by Timmy Clark. 2:14.61 the time there. 6 beats 5, 3 and 16 as we head south. Semana and Dylan Gibbons.
Yeah, was ridden quietly in that Magic Millions 3 and 4 year old race won by the Group 1 winner in Royal Merchant. I thought it was a good run.
Yeah, good first up at Wyong, and just needs luck from the draw with her. She can go forward or can go back, so I don't know how they're going to ride her.
Meridius is on the backup here for Lloyd Kennywell, Lucy Yeomans and Jamie Carr.
Yeah, did love that hot tempo that the King set up last week and was really eye-catching late. It was probably one of the runs of the race.
Yeah, and must have pleased the Jamie Carr because she sticks with him.
Where do we put Sunfall in the mix of things here? Barry, Lockwood, Martin Harley.
Yeah, I think, look, he's fit a third up today, probably ready to peak. I don't think he's quite up to it.
Or RNT, Chris Marr, Damien Thornton.
Yeah, pretty firm track today. Happy to wait for something easier.
Perfect Thoughts, trained by John Sargent, Craig Williams.
I really like this horse. I would have loved to have seen more in his 2 runs back, but I'm very, very wary of him because I know he's got enough talent.
Rob Heathcote trains Zoo Shack with CJ Graham.
Yeah, about his best. He could run some sort of a race here from a good draw. Position's fairly handy. I just don't know how well he's going right now.
The Ritz is from the Michael Morrison stable with Robbie Dolan.
Yeah, he loves it here. He's had 5 starts here for 4 wins, but just happy to watch today.
19 will be Lavish Empire from the Peter and Paul Snowden stable with Michael D.
I love backing horses backing up off a win, and that's the case here. He's in the mix from a good draw and a big-time performer on board.
Or RNT, Chris Marr, Damien Thornton.
Yeah, pretty firm track today. Happy to wait for something easier.
Perfect Thoughts, trained by John Sargent, Craig Williams.
I really like this horse. I would have loved to have seen more in his 2 runs back, but I'm very, very wary of him because I know he's got enough talent.
Rob Heathcote trains Zoo Shack with CJ Graham.
Yeah, about his best. He could run some sort of a race here from a good draw. Position's fairly handy. I just don't know how well he's going right now.
The Ritz is from the Michael Morrison stable with Robbie Dolan.
Yeah, he loves it here. He's had 5 starts here for 4 wins, but just happy to watch today.
19 will be Lavish Empire from the Peter and Paul Snowden stable with Michael D.
I love backing horses backing up off a win, and that's the case here. He's in the mix from a good draw and a big-time performer on board.
Hey, looks, now we know we did miss a couple. They came into the yard in 6s and 7s then, so it was a little difficult.
We didn't see Frosty the Grey.
No, we didn't see Frosty. And there was a couple of others, but I think everybody is on the track now. Or we're still waiting for Zoo Shack. I saw Martin Harley standing around waiting for his steed to enter the yard, but he could be on board now. So we're all behind the barriers. We're playing a mad catch-up race here, guys, aren't we, to get done before sunset? Or although I believe the official rule is technically half an hour before sunset.
We won't worry about
what's
that.
half an hour between?
Yeah,
What's
exactly.
half an
There's
hour?
still plenty of sunlight out there still. I think we're going to be right. We just need the no drama here behind the start for this race. Zerastro Revolutionary Miss, $5. Far Too Easy, $5.50, and then Lock Eagle at $6. They're the top 4 in the market.
Let's get Kian's pick of the yard first.
That Bernie, I'm with a 7 in this Revolutionary Miss. First time I've had a look at her. She's a beautiful, well put together mare. She's obviously travelled up nicely, handing. Gee, I buggered that up. She's doing everything right. I think the best thing about this mare is she's coming back from the 1,600 metres, where a few of these speed horses may be a little bit vulnerable late at the end of the 1,400 metres from the wider draw. In fact, she's back in trip. I know she'll be strong late.
Thanks for that, Kian. She is with Revolutionary Miss. Maxie?
Yeah, she's firmed up a point. I can see her getting a lovely run, Revolutionary Miss. I've got her in the numbers, but I'm going to stick with Far Too Easy. Everything is against him here.
You're a sticker.
I am. I just love his, the way he knuckles down and finds the line. Zerastro, it's going to be exciting to see him here and how he handles the 1,400 in this big field from the wide gate. Lock Eagle to finish strongly, and Revolutionary Miss.
3 favourites now, all $5. She's firmed a Revolutionary Miss, and money for Far Too Easy late as well at $5. 5, 2, 3, 16. I'm going with the big 3 here, but I like Zerastro on top.
All right, all in. Here's Mitch Manners.
1,600 metres ahead of them. Magic Millions Cup. Ready. Stand by. Gates are back and they're off and racing. Sunfall missed the start. Revolutionary Miss, no speed either. Frosty Rocks left fast with Zarastro. 1-2 early on. R&T and Zuzak third and fourth. King of Hastings fifth the rail. 2 lengths away. Revolutionary Miss. She picked up rather quickly. On its inside is Meridius. To their outside, Semana 3 wide. Then followed Perfect Thought. Lavish Empire is next. Dynamic Impact and Lock Eagles back and wide with Irish Songs who just had to statch up there. Far Too Easy 3 and 4 deep into that first bend. Then Sunfall, Battleton and the Ritzers last. Good speed. Frosty Rocks in front, a length clear. Zarastro in second. 2.5 lengths away. R&T in third. Zushak fourth. Semana fifth. Then Revolutionary Miss. King of Hastings, Perfect Thought. Lock Eagle trying to slide forward before the bend. Then followed by, behind those runners, Dynamic Impact, Meridius, Far Too Easy. 6 lengths off the leader. Irish Song, Lavish Empire, Battleton, Sunfall and the Ritzers last. Frosty Rocks joined by Zarastro. In turn, Semana produces down the outside. Revolutionary Miss back to the far side. 3 lengths away, Far Too Easy starting to wind up. It's Semana in front, 150 to go. Broke clear, 2 lengths in front. Revolutionary Miss, Zarastro, Far Too Easy. Semana's home. Semana won the Magic Millions Cup. Beat Meridius, who flashed late, grabbed second. A wall there for third. Revolutionary Miss, Battleton, Far Too Easy, and the Ritz. Then followed by, next in was Lavish Empire, Zushak, King of Hastings, Frosty Rocks, Dynamic Impact, Sunfall, Perfect Thought, R&T, Irish Songs. Semana has come clear late for a...
Meridius on the 7-day backup has sliced through in the middle, close for third, Far Too Easy and Revolutionary Miss towards the inside.
Boy, they went out at warp speed. Frosty spoiled Zarastro's party, and she just sits behind a barrier. She was drawn right off the track, and a big win for Dylan Gibbons to get the job done for Ma Eustace team, and Far Too Good. It's very close for third. Meridius is second, but pretty close for third there with number 7 actually getting it. Revolutionary Miss just hanging on from Far Too Easy, and the Ritz run a bottler there.
All right, let's get out on track with Ali Mosley and Dylan Gibbons.
Dill was so excited he started to take off without me there. Well done, Dill. Is that your first big win up here?
Yeah, it is my first time at the Gold Coast, so I think I might try and come back every year.
I reckon. Talk us through the run.
Look, she jumped okay, and she just, the other day they rode a cold, and Dad probably showed us how to ride her, and today, albeit I was 3 wide with no cover, she was just smoking where she was, and when I presented, I thought, oh, it's not pretty, we're getting here a bit soon, but look, she's just absolutely flying.
Talk to us about the occasion. It's a big show they put on here, isn't it? Nice to ride?
Exactly. I had to argue with the boss to get here because he couldn't understand why I wanted to be, but he'll see why now.
I think he might be. Go back. It's a lot of fun.
Thank you.
All right, Kieran Maher about to join us. He's been waiting all day for a winner. Magic Millions Day. Well done, Kieran.
Thank you very much. She's been a real revelation, this mare, since she's come into the yard. And the owners have always had a lot of faith in her. And, geez, that was a pretty big win. She had no cover all the way. She looked like she worked most of the way and was very strong to the line. Dylan's got a good association and, fantastic.
It's a great way to round out the day. Obviously, a big week for you guys.
Yeah, it's a very long week, actually, and we're professional place getters today, so I needed a winner, but no, it's been fantastic.
Well done to you and the team.
No worries. Yeah, thank you very much. It's all down to the team, and they've done a good job today.
Well done. All right, there he is. Kieran Maher, David Eustace. When does the partnership actually officially...
Might be after today.
I should have probably asked him.
I reckon it might be the last day, actually. So you want to put his hand out, David. David's over there. You might have a little chat to him, actually.
Yeah, we'll get David over here. Why not? 12 beats 13, 7-2.
And Bernie, this mare ran second to Royal Merchant, the stablemate, at Wyong in the Magic Millions 3 and 4-year-old lead up, and Royal Merchant.
Yes.
So if you like her, you'd be happy because that form line with Semana getting close to her there at Wyong, really standing up for the Fillies and Mares race. So we've got one race yet to come.
All right, yes. Well, they've got Royal Merchant in the last race. So we're going to have So I'm kind of thinking that could be their last. Jack's the representative from the stable. Is that right, Jack? Sorry?
Joe.
Oh, Joe. Oh, Joe, where are you from?
France.
France.
I am.
Parlez-vous français?
Yeah, a little bit of it.
Tell us about the team and the effort here for this lady.
Yeah, so it's obviously vintage owners, great result. They sent it to us early days while she was still unraced. Had a few earlier issues, and she's a mare who's never been showing anything, and she just kept surprising us every prep, just kept getting better. And yeah, obviously today, tough trip. She was wide and still too good.
Now, we've talked to Kieran, we've talked to Joe. I was just wondering what size shoe you've got. Is it similar to David Eustace?
A bit smaller, I think.
Are you looking for that gig?
No, just keep doing what we're doing. So we've got a good system. It's working well, and nothing's going to change.
Great stuff. Good on you, Joe.
Thank you.
There's Joe from France.
Aussie Joe.
Aussie Joe will